if you talk about controversy, you get clicks.
People are going to do what they want to do regardless, especially if the end result is going to get them money in their pocket.
Is that right to have a channel where people can't even see you or people don't even know who's behind it?
If it's AI, they probably, there's no brain, no emotion, no empathy, no anything behind it.
It matters to me who's delivering the content. And the person behind that content and understanding something about that person, or it's not just about information to me.
Right.
I just think it's interesting where we're going. If we're talking about community and church and how we should walk out the kingdom, I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. All right. Welcome to the Church Dropout podcast. Church Dropout is a podcast. We talk about issues, topics, and teachings related to faith, life, and culture in ways that are sometimes funny, sometimes serious, but always insightful. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. Keep the conversation moving forward. My name is Alan, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Hello.
Why are you jumping the gun? I guess we got to explain this to people too, because people think you're my sister. So.
Woo, no, that's just 25 years.
Yep, 25 years, and that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's very weird because we don't look anything alike.
I think on every episode I probably called you babe.
Right. Yeah.
No, I mean, people aren't listening that deep. Plus, I've been taking a ton of criticism, because I say, you know what I mean, a lot. So.
A ton of criticism.
Yeah, people be on me. They don't be playing. They just be like, I'm not going to listen until you stop doing this.
Whatever.
Everything I love. Everything I love. One guy, he probably, I don't care, but he said,
literally, I don't even hear you say that.
I know, but it's, it's slang. It's just how I talk. You know what I mean? There we go. Right. But, one person said, I like what you're saying. I like what you guys are saying, but I just can't get past the I means and all of that type stuff, and I'll just come back when that's no longer there. And I said, don't bother, brother. That was my comment back. Right. Hey, don't bother.
Yeah.
But
it's because of where you're raised and the way we talk in this area. It's not just, you. I think it's just like an area thing. And clearly that person is from the opposite side of our area as far as,
maybe,
you know what I mean?
I understand.
Because I just said it.
I do. I hear it, and then, yeah, of course, like I'm not even opposed to growth. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it.
But I'm
okay. You got a stalker,
but we gonna be us.
There you go.
But we gonna be us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not gonna stop saying you know what I mean, because that's if I'm worried about what comes out of my mouth when I'm talking, as far as I gotta make sure I don't say this, I gotta make sure I don't say that, then we're not being genuine.
I think that's the big thing for me, is like working in the church world and all of this type stuff, and I've heard all of the polished, because that's what they said, your delivery's not polished and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't care to be polished. Like, I'm not on here to be polished. I'm on here to be me. And I get it. Like, I do. There's things that I consciously try to do, but I'm like you. Like, I can't worry about what's coming out of my mouth when I'm trying to say it. And then, there's other reasons too that I care not to discuss. But I'll say this. Also, we got to be really careful too of just saying things and not really knowing what the reason could be.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, there could be other reasons why those things happen. And, so anyway, I just thought it was funny. I don't even know how we got on that subject, but yeah, but it is what it is. Like, I think from the beginning, we've said, like, it's not really about being polished. It's not about being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being who we are. I think sometimes people get caught up in the look, you know what I mean? Because it, like, oh, it looks professional,
Mm-hmm.
but again, professional is a subjective thing
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what you want to, hear, you know what I mean? And how you want to hear it and all of that type stuff. But, hey, listen, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. And even just to back you up, or back up what you just said or whatever, looking professional, being professional does not have a way of talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't.
Ooh, sorry. Look like you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. See, now I can't stop saying it.
It's conscious to you now.
Now it is. But anyways, being professional, that doesn't mean that you're not professional because you say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think that has a lot to do with perception and how we perceive people and our own biases.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to block a person from the channel because of it.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like we're not for everybody, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
That's okay. If you don't like hearing, you know what I'm saying, or you want us to sound more boxed in or something like that,
yeah,
maybe this isn't the channel for you, and that is okay.
Absolutely.
You can't even
do it no more.
You can't. I do it better.
West Side.
I don't know why I did the click.
Yeah, the little click thing. Had to sing some TQ. Y'all don't know nothing about no TQ. This is for my homies on the West Side. We used to roll. We can't sing most of it. But that song there in the studio, it was amazing. But anyway, so since the Daystar thing has jumped off, right? With the whole Daystar scandal. There has been a ton, at least I've noticed this, and it's probably been there for a while, but if you talk about controversy, you get clicks, right? And so stuff, because I talked about certain things, it'll also recommend certain things to my feed. And I've been seeing a lot of faceless AI videos that are delivering Christian content. Now, not just Christian content in terms of like the or AI faceless channels that are delivering Christian content. Now, not just in terms of like discipleship and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the controversial stuff or, you know what I mean? Like the scandals.
Yeah.
So the channels are popping up and they're talking about all of the drama and the mess that's happening in the church. And it kind of, I don't know how to feel about it, because now, again, it's not going to do anything on discipleship because you don't get clicks for stuff like that. You do a video on discipleship, good luck. You know what I mean? Like but if you do a video on, the latest,
right,
it takes off, right? And so they're never going to do an AI channel on that because it's not beneficial.
How do you know they're AI channels?
Okay, that's a great question. You can always tell by the picture and the voice they don't match. So this one had like a African black guy, and you could tell he was kind of like African from the way he was dressed. And the voice was definitely a Caucasian person or white person, like straight up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get in sync with yourself here. You know what I mean? And so,
but did it sound kind of mechanical?
Well, there is another podcast that I seen that is AI, and I know it's AI because I'm familiar with Adobe's AI stuff. Like in terms of like you can actually do an AI podcast where you can put it all together and it will record it, and then you'll have two people talking, and I recognize the voices. Like I know that's AI because it's the box voices that come with the AI thing. But this channel, I know it's AI because of that, the voice. And then you can also tell because it can't pronounce certain words, like certain names and stuff. It'll pronounce it as it's read, but it's not going to pronounce it correctly because.
Yes, I've come across that a couple times. Yes.
Right. And the thing that's weird to me is like, I don't know how to feel about it. I do think that there's a I at least I think there's the ethical portion,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, talking about controversial things. There was something, there was videos on what's going on with Michael Brown and,
Mm-hmm.
some things that were said about the victims and in that particular scenario, the victims in the Johnny and, Joni Lamb
Mm-hmm.
situation
Mm-hmm.
and Daystar. And it's like, and it wasn't speaking from a unbiased place.
Mm-hmm.
It was giving you the tea. It was giving you all the tea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm just like, like how, and this is just me, and I'm not being self-righteous here.
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't feel comfortable just creating a channel to make money like that
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to generate money.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is the other part too. Like, I don't even know if they're Christians that are doing it because
Mm-hmm.
people will just create.
Yeah.
They just create faceless channels just to make money.
Yeah.
And then, what kind of got me is I was looking and people are commenting on this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm like, they're not even paying attention to whether or not this is real or not, or if it's a real person or not. They just
Mm-hmm.
need to say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's weird and it's concerning.
Yeah.
Where AI is going and, just these, like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, man, something that's that important. We're talking about the possible essay of a, child. We're talking about the integrity of people and nobody can hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're just free to say whatever you want to say,
right,
and not have to be held accountable to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you were saying, like you look at some crime stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just telling the story of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little bit different because it's not making judgment or passing judgment on someone's character, but when you start to look at making judgments on people's character, is that right to have a channel where people can't even see you or people don't even know who's behind it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you're just reporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. What do you think? You think that there's something?
I don't know. I could see if it was, it's kind of, it's touchy with, YouTube because, or whatever platform you saw it on, because it's not
It's
really,
YouTube.
okay. So it's not really, a lot of videos aren't really live. So like there are live videos. I understand that. So, but I guarantee if this person couldn't do a live, you know what I mean? Cause there'd be no way that there could be interaction back and forth.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I mean, I think because people are going to do what they want to do regardless, especially if the end result is going to get them money in their pocket, you know what I mean? Then, I just think as, us as followers and people that watch these videos and things like that, we need to be careful. You know what I mean? Because, we're thinking that somebody is, just because they're talking about this topic that they're, that they're Christian or that they're looking at from a Christian point of view when they're actually, probably not, or, probably don't even have a brain. You know what I mean? If it's AI, that's all I'm just saying. If it's AI, I'm not saying if it's real person, I'm not saying they don't have a brain. I'm just saying if it's AI, they probably, there's no brain, no emotion, no empathy, no anything behind it. You know what I mean? And if you start watching it and start thinking like that person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy, So I bet you a lot of the comments that were on that were probably agreeing with whatever this AI person was saying.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that was most concerning to me, if I could just be honest, was just like the amount of comments that were there. And some of the things that were said in the comments were things like, especially in that situation, you got people who are on both sides, as if there's how do I say this? You got people who are espousing their point of view on both sides and whose side they're on.
Right.
And that was kind of the thing that was kind of taken aback, was like, it didn't matter if it was AI or not, people are going to listen to it because it's controversial and because they want to say what they want to say. It didn't say anything that wasn't already out there.
Yeah.
Which is an overall YouTube problem for me, is that nobody's really saying anything in any conversation that's new. You know what I mean? Like, you're clicking on something and getting the same information, and so but that was the thing. It's like, what does that say about us?
Yeah.
That we would listen to a channel that we don't even know the people who are behind it. We don't know anything about them. Now, granted, you don't know anything about anybody really, but I'm just saying, like, you don't even have a face, and you don't know if it's some kid who has 100 YouTube channels and they're all faceless, and they just, all they do is make faceless content.
Yeah.
And you don't care.
Right.
You're just getting what you need to get from it. Is there any moral, what does this tell us about us and our appetite for this stuff? And should we be concerned with that? Should we be concerned with someone who's reporting, or people who are reporting on things that affect the lives of people, and there's no person there behind it?
Right.
They're just, there's no obligation to take something down if it's incorrect, or
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It just was weird to me, and now again, this may be just me. And let me go back up a little bit. Like, I was having a conversation with Joe. Okay. And we were talking about YouTube, and I was telling him, like, maybe I care more about things than most people actually care about. You understand what I'm saying? Like maybe I'm looking at this, and maybe it just doesn't bother people. And the things that upsets me about YouTube just doesn't upset people, because they're just not. No, it's like, that's not why I'm there.
Right.
I'm not there to get correct news.
Right. So, I mean, and I can,
it's entertainment. YouTube is an entertainment platform.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I'm saying, like, especially in these stories, if they're just watching this just to get the latest gossip, you know what I mean? Then they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. But I'm saying, like, the fact that they're doing something that they know is going to get clicked on, and we as Christians are going to click on it. That's why I'm saying, like, the issue is with us, that we wouldn't really care as long as we get what we need from that, or we get to express our opinion or our thought. Like, obviously we would love for people to have ethics in business and to do things ethically and to think about these things. But the reality is people are going to take advantage of the consumer's mind in terms of, like, hey, listen, if it sells, I'm going to do it. Right. There's whole industries we know. Yeah. Right. There's industries that are like that. But we have a say by how we engage it. And it's like, and this is just me. And then I know people are probably going to hate, because they're going to think it's like, because we are on YouTube and stuff like this. But now I'm just telling you how I treat people on YouTube. Like I don't just thumbs up content that I like. If people have taken time to put it together, I value that.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable just, like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it matters to me who's delivering the content. And the person behind that content, and understanding something about that person, or it's not just about information to me.
Right.
And should we as believers, should that be something that we should, pay attention to? Like, I think about Julie Royce. And for better or worse, people may like her, people may not like her.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of heat that she takes for doing what she does,
Mm-hmm.
and she keeps her faith in the public,
Mm-hmm.
I can like, that's a lot.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So here she is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. You shouldn't talk about Julie.
So seance and stuff, Lord. And so here you have her who's talking about some of these issues that really do affect the lives of people,
Mm-hmm.
and are important issues that need to be uncovered and thought
Mm-hmm.
through.
Mm-hmm.
And she's putting not only her integrity but her face out there.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have somebody who has a channel
Mm-hmm.
with no face, no nothing,
Yeah.
producing content.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're interested in the topic,
Mm-hmm.
and we just want to hear something else and be entertained by it, we'll click on it and I don't know. And again, it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's weird to me. You know, and you know, like I said, like I don't think that it's wrong in all cases to have a channel. I'm not even saying that this is wrong. I just thought it was weird, you know, that these channels have subscribers. You know, I'm talking about double figure subscribers.
Yeah.
The videos are 3-figure,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that doesn't count watch time, because people could just tune in and turn it off, and you know, so that you know, just because they have a lot of views doesn't mean that people are actually. But the reality is that there are people who are watching and commenting on this,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have any idea what or who is producing this content.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just, like I said, a kid who has sports channels and all types of channels, and he's just like, hey, I'm seeing people have an appetite for this, and I'm just going to create a channel,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that we're going to click on it because it's controversy.
Right.
What does it say more? Does it say more about them, or does it say more about us?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but again, you know, that's the nature of YouTube too. I mean, you know, it's an entertainment platform, you know, and that's what it's meant to do. I still think as Christians, though, we are not governed by those ethics, you know, like we got to think things through differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just did a video, and I don't even know if I'm going to drop it, but I just did a video just kind of talking about, you know, leaders and how leaders can be impulsive,
Mm-hmm.
and how that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to be an impulsive leader where you're just doing, you
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
And I was there, you know, as a leader, like, you know, oh, I got something to say, I'm going to say it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to let it bake. I'm not going to think it through. I'm just going to say it. But I was just kind of talking about how, you know, YouTube, the reason why this happens, because YouTube is a place where you need to get things out quickly in order for people to respond to it.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate that, that's YouTube.
Mm.
But the Christian content creator should be thinking about not how I can get this out.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't be the only question, to get it out quick, to get it out first. But you also got to think through, like, you know, how is what I'm saying going to affect? Should I say what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, which may mean you missed the boat.
Right.
You know, and so I know the dilemma. It's like, because we're Christians, we have a higher ethic. We have a kingdom mentality that calls us to think through things differently. And I don't know, I just felt like looking at this, it was kind of telling to me. And I'm looking at the comments, and, you know, if in the comments these are Christians, and I'm assuming that they claim to be Christians, I'm like, wow.
Mm.
How people are commenting, what people are commenting.
Yeah.
No concern for just getting your point across. Don't care if the information is correct or not. Don't care where the source of the information came from. It's just, you want that information.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. And maybe we should talk about that, on a different episode. I know we have some things planned just about, just the digital space and how that affects, our walk and our relationship. And I think this is a part of it. This is a part of it.
The digital space? What do you mean?
Yeah, just, like how spirituality is happening in the digital space in terms of, people don't have to attend any gathering on Sunday. They can watch their favorite preacher. They can, look up information as they're needed, as positive as it is in terms of the availability of these things.
Mm-hmm.
How has this affected us in terms of our discipleship and our spirituality?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, you could just go online and type in anything you want and get words on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This when I was in school, Bible college and stuff, like, I actually had to go get a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you remember, like, I had it, you see all of the books and stuff. So I had to go try to find something, in order to try to find an answer, or I was forced to call people that I was in relationship with, to help, like, what does this mean, to help figure these things out? Right. Where now it's right there, and that's what I'm saying. Like in trusted sources, you just don't know. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know who you're getting it from.
Right.
And we've trusted that.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me about it, is even in journalism, like, there's ethics in that. They like, you got to have a trusted source. Like, you got to be able to point back to the source of the information that you're reporting on.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't care about that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, I don't think I have anything else that not that pertains to this particular situation. Would you listen to a faceless AI channel that talked about controversy in the Christian realm and stuff like that? Like, would you have an issue?
Well, so,
like, would you subscribe and follow?
No. And I wouldn't be quick to watch it, because I know it, that wouldn't be my aim. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not looking for, the
Yeah, you're not typing on.
I literally don't even know what's going on with these stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
I literally have no idea.
Yeah, you don't even watch my videos.
Alice,
I need to see your YouTube. You probably not even subscribed to our channel.
No, it's just, you know what I mean? Because it's, I don't know. That's just not my thing. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's judgy. It's, now if it's a news article, like for instance, TD Jakes, you know what I'm saying? He has, his issue on stage, the news is reporting it, that's different. You know what I mean? But, if I'm trying to watch somebody, Jane AI video, and it's just telling me, I don't know, I saw, well, I don't even know how it talks.
I understand. It just talks regular.
It's just gossiping about what we think happened, and where we think, was going on, and you know what I mean? And just coming up with its own, because it's basically just pulling stuff that's off the web, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so it's not credible. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And see, and that's kind of the nature of YouTube itself, in terms of, like, I just, and this is just me, like, most people aren't adding to any conversation. Like, how many times can you click on even the Daystar thing? Like, how many times can you click on and actually learn something about it?
Right. Right.
You know, and again, you know, people have their opinions about it, and I understand people have their people who they go to in terms of, you know, and they want to hear their thoughts on it. But there's not a lot of original thought. And I think that's the part too. I think in some sense, when we, you know, this is like one of the concerns with AI is, and again, somebody with a brilliant mind has created this, right? And that's a beautiful thing, right? That, you know, God who is a creator, those who bear his image also create in his image, you know, which is great. But there is a sense of that's being lost, you know, that's being lost. And it's almost like the ends are now beginning to justify the means. And that's what's becoming important is it doesn't matter how hard we work to try to get content out. I mean, you just, you know, we both worked today, you know, we got kids stalking us, you know, we got family members, you know, we're taking care of, you know, we just found out our kid has been eating some stuff he shouldn't have been eating in the middle of the night when we sat down here. Life is happening. And I guess what I'm saying is like how hard it is to really get to like, and not, I'm not complaining about the hardness of it. I'm just saying like, those things often get missed in our desire just to have information.
Yeah.
I think that's what bothers me, going back to our conversation before. That's what bothers me sometimes is like, people will find the smallest things to complain about. They'll find the most minimal thing to complain about. And I'm like, you listen to a whole podcast, you like what is being said, and all you can complain about is what is somebody saying, you know what I mean? You know, it reminds me of, you know, when we were going to a specific church and a youth came to the church, unprovoked, just came and said, hey, I just wanted to go to church today, and sat down, and he had a hat on. And the deacons approached the kid and said, you need to take off your hat in here. He was like, sir, I understand, but I have a bad haircut. You know, and they made him take off his hat. And he was like, no, I'm not taking off my hat. And so he left. And I'm like, why in the world would you tell a kid to leave?
Right.
Who can hear the gospel, and you're worried about a hat.
Right.
You wanted to be sanctified before he's saved. Right. But the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what you want to worry about. And I think that's what the digital space is missing, is honestly is the care and concern and the reality that people are real, that situations are real, that they're not topics, they're not subjects.
Right.
And so when you treat it that way, and you base a channel just on subjects, and you know, and you're not even willing to show your face while critiquing. You know, and I'm talking about critiquing. I'm not talking about I'm talking about you're making straight up opinions about people.
Right.
And then you got other people like Julie Roy's and these people who are actually taking the bullets.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in. It's not about making money. It's not about all of that. I mean, I'm just saying like there's things that we should be thinking through here, you know, that are bigger than just whether or not we want to be, you know, entertained.
Right.
But I'll say this as we close. You know, we're not AI. You know, apparently, you know.
Yeah.
That's why we got to keep saying, you know what I mean? Because then you know.
Right. That's right.
AI wouldn't say that.
Nope.
Yep. You know. But I knew all of this was coming, you know. That's why my favorite movie was I, Robot with Will Smith. I used to watch it all the time.
My favorite show was The Jetsons. So I really knew it was coming.
Are you serious?
No.
I
watched The Jetsons though. Like I could sing the whole song.
Your mom, I would have thought your mom would have found something to rebuke in The Jetsons.
No, The Jetsons was legit. There's no reason to not, you know, I mean the robot got a little,
right.
Was it the maid? The maid, she got a little, you know, but no, the Jetsons was nothing.
The son was, Elroy was a little bit, you know, He was a little bad.
No, but
because you couldn't watch Dennis the Menace.
Right.
Right.
He wasn't like Dennis the Menace. Dennis the Menace was.
Yeah, Dennis the Menace was off the chain.
Oh, so.
We can't even watch some of those movies because I'm scared it'll give our kids ideas.
Right. And that's exactly what my mom did.
But it didn't give me ideas. Like I watched like those shows.
Let our kids do it. But I'm just saying. But I'm saying, babe, you're saying that you're making fun of my mom. That no,
but I didn't rebuke it. I didn't turn it off in Jesus' name. I rebuked that. That's what I'm talking about. Like I wouldn't rebuke the TV station.
No, it wasn't even like that.
While I'm watching the Lifetime movie, I'm gonna rebuke the commercial, but I'm gonna watch the Lifetime.
That's different. Now that's different. But as far as the Dennis the Menace, she didn't want me to be a menace. And that's the exact same thing that we don't want our kids to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Watch something.
Yeah, no, I know mom's concerns. Mm-hmm. Let's real talk. You want to tell people the story of you when you were singing Mary J. Blige?
No, I do not.
One day Lisa's going to have to tell you. You got to ask her. Tell you the story about when she was singing Mary J. Blige song. That's good. It's a good learning story. Well, all right, y'all. That's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Church Dropout Podcast. As usual, we love to hear your thoughts. Mm-hmm. Drop a comment below. Keep the conversation moving forward. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I you know how I feel. Mm-hmm. You know how Lisa feels. I would just want to hear what you guys have to think. And perhaps you guys are subscribed to some of these channels and you listen to them. And I don't know. I just think it's interesting where we're going. Yeah. If we're talking about community and church and how we should walk out the kingdom, I think this is a conversation that needs to be had, So, But anyway, thank you again for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Good night.